Hey, how's it going guys? ZDEyE here. So today I wanted to share my thoughts on the Grand Theft Auto 5, the next generation upgrade, well, specifically on a PlayStation 5. So I have been paying attention, seeing, what's the main differences between the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 5 version of the Grand Theft Auto 5. And I want to mention first of all that I have not experienced these changes for myself, since as a recording of this video, Grand Theft Auto 5 Next Gen upgrade, basically it's only available in places like New Zealand, Japan, basically people that actually have the access first. So we will get our chance of experiencing this game for ourselves eventually, in a few more hours or so. And of course, closer we get, obviously we're gonna have our own opinions to share. But after seeing the gameplay and the walkthroughs, other people's experience of this game, it's already pretty much clarifies a lot of things. Unfortunately, well, it's not really surprising that there's basically nothing new and nothing really significant that you would be expecting out of this Grand Theft Auto 5 the next generation upgrade. It truly is unfortunate, but also I'm kinda glad because one thing, not because of the game what it does, but because of how you actually have this access. So if you guys know, Grand Theft Auto 5 you only will have the access of actually getting this only for an additional $10, at least for the PlayStation 5. And so when you pay $10, you will have access to Grand Theft Auto 5, the single player, and also pretty much as of this moment for free on the online version. And so of course this means it's up to you to decide if you want to actually pick up this game as soon as possible or not. But my advice, yes, pick it up as soon as possible. You do not want to pay extra, because as soon as the 3 months period is done, you're gonna have to pay up to like $40 just for the single player mode of this Grand Theft Auto. That will 100% not be worth it. Even though the game is super popular, it is milked dry as hell. It's just too much. Single player is unfortunately extremely stale, and online is already completely overblown to the proportions, nobody wants to be experiencing it anymore. Nobody cares about it. Give us something new, give us something different. This is why a lot of people are expecting Grand Theft Auto 6, and finally they have announced that they are making it, but of course they'll need far more longer time. They didn't even really tease anything, except that they made an announcement. Yes, there's something coming from Rockstar, and it is significant. Now back on track regarding of the differences on the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 version of the Grand Theft Auto 5. And unfortunately, like I said, there isn't much serious of those differences, at least they're not significant. So basically in the PlayStation 5 version of Grand Theft Auto 5, you'll have 3 different option modes: Performance RT, basically ray tracing, Performance itself, and of course the Fidelity mode. So Performance will allow you to play the game in 60 frames per second on consoles, and PlayStation 5 anyway, so that's awesome. Definitely going to be playing that on that version anyway. Performance RT, basically performance with the ray tracing. You will be able to play 60 FPS, but also you'll have a ray tracing mode on. But the thing is, ray tracing doesn't seem like it's going to be taking a full advantage of that. It seems like it's going to be similar style as that is like a ray tracing in Cyberpunk 2077. That's when it's enabled, and that's specifically what I mean by is that do not expect it to be like a real deal kind of ray tracing. Ray tracing is basically done only in the shadows, just like it was in the Cyberpunk. And if that's the case, that's 100% not worth it, because I want to see ray tracing on light instead of shadows. But that's just me. Now, we'll have to see, of course, like Digital Foundry when they'll make their own analysis and, see what can be like a significant change of differences and which is the best option to go for. But also we cannot forget we have a third option, it's the Fidelity mode. The Fidelity, you play the game at 30 FPS, but even though it will look far better and sharper and everything, in every tone, that's not worth it to me, because I want to play the game at 60 FPS. And but if the game does look better than ever, I don't care about that. Gameplay is more important to me in terms of being performance of 60 FPS. That's what matters in this case, and I want to see which is the best route to go with, Performance RT or just simply a performance mode. Of course, this is good news. At least there's some kind of incentivization personally for me to replay the game again, on the PlayStation 5 with the 60 FPS, enabled. And I want to see if there's going to be any, drop rates. I wonder. But still, so far that I've noticed, that I've seen, seems like it's not that bad of a port. And mind you, when I say port, I actually mean it's a port. It's not really a remaster. In fact, a lot of people and a lot of you guys, I'm sure, are going to be very, very disappointed because you would think that this game deserves a free upgrade. It should be free. You shouldn't pay anything for it. $10 is maybe for a lot of people is asking for a lot. But knowing Rockstar, knowing Take-Two Interactive, I never expected them to get this thing for free. Look at this. 3 months later, you're gonna have to pay the fucking game for $40 just so you can pick it up. So you have a choice now. Go for a tenner, as soon as possible pay for it, just 10, or pay 40. Well, of course, there's also a third option, just never pick up the game. So of course it is up to you to make that kind of decision. And personally for me, because I know I like Grand Theft Auto in general, I'd rather pay a tenner, because everything that it has here, I absolutely love single player of Grand Theft Auto 5. So I already know that I will be replaying the game, that I'll be replaying the single player and re-experiencing it once again. Because, if the single player is good, I would actually still would want to play it again, right? And personally for me, since Grand Theft Auto 4 is actually my favorite game of all time, if you guys did not know, like Grand Theft Auto, I actually have a little bit of a soft spot anyway, because of the name, Grand Theft Auto, but also because, well, so far, every single Grand Theft Auto that came out, there were no disappointments. Of course, that's a different story in terms of the Trilogy Definitive Edition. And still, I'm still going to be looking forward to replaying it and experiencing the story all over again. But it really is up to you to see if these are, improvements, and so-called improvements, mind you, and I put that in quotes, and I kind of loosely, in fact, say it, improvements, really. Because if you actually pay attention, that's when you will spot some things, in terms of the differences and improvements. Again, I say that loosely. But what you will actually be playing here on a PlayStation 5 version, hell, in fact, I want to say even in a performance mode with the 60 FPS enabled, you'll be playing the same game again, unfortunately. There's been already, clarified, it's been already confirmed, there's no DLC, there's nothing new, there's no yes, there's improvements, but there's no improvements in terms of something additional that you could expect out of this game. So that really sucks, man. I don't know, I feel like, all the time and efforts that they have put into was obviously catered towards Grand Theft Auto Online, because that's where the revenue is coming from, and it makes total sense. But I'm done with the online. I have no interest with that, and I already moved on long ago. Since I got the Platinum Trophy on Grand Theft Auto 5, I'm just like, I don't need this shit. You know what I mean? Actually, talking about Platinum Trophy, I wonder if you'll be able to actually re-enable, well, at least re-earn all the trophies when you do transfer. And I did hear there's some big problems with the transfer as well, at least for the online. I'm not too sure what's going on with the single player, but the online mode, I hear there's some problems with that, but I do not know the full marks of it. But anyways, there's always some kind of issues. Anyway, guys, that's all I got for today. I just wanted to share my thoughts on this as well a little bit. What do you think about this? Are you interested in picking it up? I get it. Look, I get it. You have to pay $10. It sucks. It shouldn't be worth $10. It should be free. But it's Rockstar. At this point, I'm not surprised that we have to pay for it. And, is this really worth $10 of an upgrade? If that's the question you want to ask me. First of all, I don't know. I have not yet tried to play it. But I will let you know in my future video. I'll make another video about this, my proper review, since I will be playing it for and experiencing for myself, and I will let you know if it's truly worth the $10 additional for this. Alright, tell me down in the comments, are you gonna be picking it up or not? Like and subscribe, guys, and yeah, have a good one.